you could rationalize that us like drinking champagne in my hot tub is like bonding exercises. Let's just say we do a lot of bonding exercises.
Criminal Minds is the best. And it seems like evolution really ramps things up. Would that be fair to say, Kirsten?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fair to say. I think it's absolutely fair to say. And you know, here's the thing that I feel really at peace with as someone who has a hard time watching things that are super, I think, how does your mom say it, Aisha?
Goopy? Oh, gooey. My mom is like, I can't, it's too gooey. I like the show, but it's too gooey for me.
Yeah. That. And my mom's the same way. When I first started the show, she was like, I bought a 14-inch black and white television. I heard you're on it. I will watch it from the hallway. And like literally like that. So I'm kind of in that same kind of space. So the idea of like, oh gosh, more of that. It's not that it's more, our showrunner, Erica Messer, was very clear about, she didn't want to make it more violent. You stay in those moments more. So it's like creepier. And like Aisha was saying, there's more like horror, like that jump scare kind of a thing. But also there's more relationship. There's more time with the characters. So much more. You're like, it feels like you're behind the scenes of the characters. We get to do stuff that we always dreamed of, almost like stuff that like you imagine at like character work. And we spend so much time with each other in real life. So it's sort of like you could rationalize that us like drinking champagne in my hot tub is like bonding exercises. Let's just say we do a lot of bonding exercises and we have, even when the show was canceled, we didn't know it was going to come back. We continued bonding exercises. So all of it sounds sexy and I kind of mean it and I kind of don't. And so like there's more of that. You get to experience more of all of the things. And it's set up for streaming. So we know everybody was binging the show anyway. Now it's like set up. Perfect. Like that.
It's exactly the way to do it. Aisha, here's my question. How self-contained is this season? And is it something that like even non-Criminal Minds watchers could pick up and still enjoy? Right.
It's such a good question. I feel like it's so interesting. This is in some ways the 16th season of Criminal Minds, but this is the first season of Criminal Minds Evolution. You can jump in to this team right now and watch this season and have a great experience. You don't need to go back and watch the first 15 seasons to understand what's going on. And because it is tonally kind of like a different show, it's because it's longer, it's just bigger and bolder and honestly a little bit like grittier and more authentic, right? I mean, we don't have the restrictions of broadcast television. The fact of the matter is, if you were a profiler and you stumbled across a body in a dumpster, you probably would say drop a couple of bombs. You know what I mean? It just feels more real. And I think that we have a big bad this season that takes us through the whole season, really affects all the characters in really intimate and dramatic ways. This 10 episodes, you can jump in and just watch these. And then if you want, you can go back to the beginning or you can hang out hopefully for, season 17. It's really rich. I would think like, if the old show was like a cheeseburger, this is like a 4-patty cheeseburger with like bacon and cheese and barbecue sauce and onions. And then, and the Bloody Mary on the side has got another burger on top of the Bloody Mary.
That sounds perfect.
And what's nice is someone who hasn't seen it, you could watch with someone who has seen it. The person who has seen it will feel very smart because they'll be like, oh, you don't know about so-and-so. But if you've never seen it, you would totally be like, oh, I'm invested.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. I always like being that person, the know-it-all. That's fun.
You love the deep cuts. Yeah.
I wanted to, I would love to hear about, so the big bad. So gosh, Zach Gilford is phenomenal, first of all. And just the trailer for this, I'm like, oh, I cannot wait to see what he does. Kristen, can you tease anything about kind of what we're going to see from that character that he delivered?
It's really difficult to be around somebody who's so charming and such a good actor and so like, we want him around all the time, but also we're trying to catch you so you don't go do this again. It's a very confusing experience. He's incredible. I mean, and it's like a worthy, what is that, foil? Am I using that word right, Aisha?
Yeah, I think that's right. A worthy foil.
Yeah, like to everything that's now elevated, you needed like who's the person that's the right fit for us that doesn't feels like that's a tricky thing. to be like, you're the scary, and we want to see you. We're so interested. And, you know, the whole, I think that the show always sings when we really point out that monsters are created by monsters, that we're talking about behavior that any one of us could do based on, you know, the given circumstances or our primary caregivers or whatever. And at the end of the day, we only are what our actions are. So you get to watch this whole constellation of Zach's you know, the character he's playing, of Elias's voice actions that don't always necessarily just line up with terrible. And I think it's super compelling, and he knocks it out of the park.
Yeah. This is really about how do you build a serial killer? How are monsters made, right? And we didn't have the time to tell those stories in any detail before, because the show, you know, was on broadcast only 42 minutes long. Now we've got an hour. We lean into like, what might create a serial killer? What experiences might turn someone into a monster? And so for people who love the criminal profiling of the show, they're really going to get a lot of like juicy stuff about that.
And I think that people who love the relationships of just like all of us, those moments at the end of shows that we used to like slip in, like, oh, they're all having dinner together. Oh, someone's doing that. We have so much more of that too. So I think it's hitting all the buttons.
That's so cool. I'm so excited. It's going to be fantastic. Criminal Minds Evolution. It's on, it starts Thanksgiving Day, 2 episodes kick off Paramount Plus Thanksgiving Day. Before I let you guys go, Aisha, I promised my 9-year-old daughter, we are huge Whose Line fans. And she said, will you please ask Aisha what her favorite game is? She wants to know what your favorite Whose Line game is.
Oh man. First of all, what's your daughter's name?
Torin is her name.
Torin?
Yeah.
Hi, Torin. Thanks for watching my show. You're rad. What is my favorite game? Well, I love props because I just feel like there's a lot of pressure on the guys to be funny, like really fast over and over again. And inevitably they fail and they everybody like bursts into laughter. So I love it.
Okay.
I think it's just fun for us when the guys fall apart and when they do it well. And I love making the show. So after that one, I think the other one is Scenes from a Hat, because I get to jump up and do stuff with the guys as well. I love it when I get to play with the guys.
Scenes from a Hat. That's my favorite. Thank you guys so much. You're the best. I really appreciate it.
Thank
you. Have a great day.